For the last decade or so, I have made my home in the American West, hiking the mountains, fishing, and paddling the wild waters. Wilderness is a short drive away, and I love it all. But I am from the Midwest, and the closest wild country to be found is in the canoe country of northern Minnesota and southern Ontario. The memories of these quiet waters have never left me, and finally, I have returned. I'm setting out alone, and for the next 15 days, I hope to experience again the timeless beauty of Quetico and the gifts of silence and solitude. My first day out here, and hit this campsite on Quetico Lake. Spent about 5 hours getting here, and no rain today, which is great. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's really nice now. There's some kind of birds chirping in the background, so great place, huh? Sunshine and warmth is always the plan for a wilderness trip. I doubt if anybody dreams of wet boots and soggy sleeping bags, but sometimes you wake up, like I did the next day, to rain. Long ago, I made my peace with bad weather. My own epiphany happened up here during a fall snowstorm while fishing with a good friend. It was blowing, snowing hard, cold and miserable, when suddenly my friend started whooping and shouting with joy. Thinking he had finally snapped, I asked what happened, and he yelled back, "Isn't this great? Here we are, sitting in the middle of nowhere, fishing in a snowstorm." At first I didn't get it, but then I realized he was right. How often does that happen? How lucky we were to be here in the middle of a blizzard instead of a warm, dull office. That joy of living life instantly transformed my attitude towards the bad weather. It's part of the wilderness experience, and if you take the right frame of mind towards it, your own experience is much richer for it. Early the next morning, I broke camp and headed out. As always, I was ambitious on my paddling goals for this trip, planning 10 to 12-mile days. I quickly realized that a more relaxed trip would be better, admitting that age, fitness, and my desire to absorb Quetico without physical exhaustion was a much better plan. Camping for 2 to 3 days, and then moving on became my agenda, and Jean Lake became my base camp for the next couple of days. Well, this is my typical little cubbyhole that I build almost everywhere I go out here. And you can see it's got a tarp, tent over there, and I kind of orient it so the wind is behind me. And if you know anything about being out here, it's the wind that gets you, plus the rain, but it's the wind. If you can get out of the wind, I can do my cooking, I can do my setup for whatever I need to do, filming or whatever, and stay dry and out of the wind. And it works for me, and it makes me a happy camper. Well, I'm eating dinner, and the golden light's here, so you gotta get it while it's here. So, spaghetti, well, pasta with marinara sauce. It'll work. Boy, this fire sure feels good. Yeah. I tell you, 2 nights ago I came into the campsite. It had been raining all day. I was wet. I was miserable. It was still raining. And somebody had cut wood, stacked it next to the fireplace, split it, put some birch bark up on top. After I got done with dinner, I had the tarp up, and I lit that fire. And I'm telling you, there was no better feeling in the world than to feel that warmth coming out of there, because I needed it. And somebody did that for me. So I try to leave wood at wherever I cut it and make fire, because somebody else is going to feel that someday, that's for sure. Well, today I'm at the south end of Jean Lake at my campsite, and I'm going to go explore Self Lake and see if I can find a passage into Burnside without a portage. This is the first beautiful day we've had since coming out here. Not a cloud in the sky, light wind out of the west. It's just beautiful. This is what you dream of when you come out here. A day just like today. So now we're coming up in the channel into Self Lake. It looks like it's kind of rocky. This looks doable. Cool. Let's see, no, whoa. Oh, that was a big old fish. I think it was a bass. That was a big one too. He's probably just waiting for a meal. That was a big bass, like 2-footer. Maybe not 2 foot, but it was big. Well, hopefully it's spring and high water, so there might be actual wading through here. And there's a rock there, there's rocks there. Let's see what the reeds say. The reeds say it's doable. All right, we got to do the channel. All right, let's see what Self Lake has to offer. Well, this is, I thought, the end of the lake, but maybe I'm in a false corner here, because I don't see no channel. No, there's no channel here, so I got to turn around and see if I have to go back the other way. If this is it,
There's definitely no drainage going on. I don't think, but maybe I'm wrong. As you can see, this is the other end of the lake. So I think there is no channel there. If there is, it's definitely something in very, very high water or got buried or something. But I read a blog somewhere and I had to go check it out. I'm glad I did. Because if I'd have gone there tomorrow, I would have had to backtrack. Because there's no way I'm going to go down some rocky channel that maybe not even no water. So I guess that's it for this little adventure. I'm going to go back up into Jean Lake and explore the northern Little Jean Lake area. Plenty of daylight left. Wow. One of the things I really enjoy about coming up here, you know, being from Iowa where there's nothing but limestone outcroppings every once in a while, is this rock. This Canadian Shield rock. The bare bones of the continent that was scraped clean by the glaciers when they came through. And it's just incredible looking at this stuff. This is a nice little spot. And if I'm not mistaken, looks like it used to be a campsite, but not for a while. And it looks like a beach, but it's not. It's just flat rock. And there might be a little canoe landing right here, if I'm lucky. Yeah. Oh, look at this, a shelf. My God, it's like a pier. Like I'm in the Queen Mary or something. I can just slide her right up in here. Oh, God. Well, Captain, we've beached. And now, I'm going to eat lunch. Okay, but first I got to get out of this thing. You never know what's going to happen. Getting out of canoes is always an interesting prospect. Oh! Even in a pier like this. All right. Make sure the canoe don't get away. And, whoa, it is getting away. All right. Lunch. Oops. Shall be served. Here's a little exploration of the campsite. It's got a nice point out here, a couple shade trees. Here's the fire pit. That's where I ate lunch. It's nice. And then over here, discovered something really interesting. What looks to be a sled of some sort. A toboggan, maybe children's, maybe just used for firewood, probably that's what it was for. And a couple of window frames. There's some old screening. You can see it right there. Yeah. So there was an old cabin out here somewhere, maybe tucked into the woods right here. It's hard to tell. I can't see anything from here, and this stuff is so old that any cabin could be rotted into nothing right now, and you'd have to go searching for it. Although this looks like a nice spot. I don't know. I wasn't an old logger trapper back then. I don't know what they look for. Anyway, great little find. A little sled. It's kind of places you'd find pictographs. But you never know why they pick the places they do. You see other places, and you say, yep. But there must be other reasons other than the quality of the rock. That is the end of Little Jean Lake, or as far as the end as I'm going to see it, it goes beyond there about another mile or so, so I ain't going to go any farther today. So anyway, I'm just going to turn around here because there is a really nice campsite right here. And if I'd have known about it, maybe I would have camped here before, but this is part of the joy of discovery, is to find things like this. So I'm going to keep going and make my way back for a shower and a pizza tonight. Yeah.
Well, it's the moment of truth, whether I have pizza or something else. So, here. Oh my God. That looks just delicious. Look at that. That's a pizza. And, you know, I'd eat it right now, except I already had one. My recipe was double what I need for a single serving, so I made 2 pizzas, and this one is breakfast. So I got it's pizza night and pizza morning. Good stuff though, it was really good. The next day, it was time to move on, portaging through Burntside Lake, entering the long channel leading to the large and scenic Sturgeon Lake, and making my way to an island halfway down.
Here we are, Sturgeon Lake, Quetico Provincial Park. Came in here last night. It was a beautiful day. I'm on an island campsite and it's just gorgeous. And today I woke up, it was cloudy out and there might be some rain. So I'm gonna set up my tarp, and there's all different ways of doing this. So I'm gonna try a different way this time and see what happens, and hopefully it'll work out just fine. Here it is. Of course, I had all my tie points already preset, so when I did that fast motion thing, saved about 20 minutes of work. Because getting all the things hung and predetermined is the trick of doing tarp work, is getting it just right, and that takes time. It's not like putting up a tent, it's the same size every time, but this time it worked out pretty well. I got a nice little cubby hole right here I can sit in. And if it does rain, which it may, actually the sun's starting to come out, I'll be all right. I'll be able to do everything I need to do.
After consulting my maps, I decided to backtrack and spend a few days on a lake known for its beauty, a place I had long wanted to visit, island-studded Burntside Lake. Well, I just came to this campsite on Burntside Lake, and it's a beautiful little lake, and wanted to show you how I packed for this thing. I'll bring this up on this almost perfect landing here. And show you some of the stuff I carry. Regular paddle, kayak paddle, because with a solo it's really nice to have it for speed and control, and I can really get going in the waves with it. So, paddles. Here's my day pack. This one is almost completely filled with camera gear this time. A lunch, raincoat, that's about it. I'm carrying a lot of camera gear, too much probably. And here's my main camera, which we are shooting on right now. It's in a Pelican case, keeps it dry. Don't have to worry about it. Maps. And over here is my all-important green bucket. Now, I get the weirdest looks with this thing, but I got my portage yoke, poles, various things in here. I just keep in the bucket. It's easier to put it in here and in a pack. So. And of course, the beast, portage pack. This trip, 15 days, I had 32 pounds of food in this thing along with all my camping gear, so it's been a beast, as you can see. And my Mad River canoe, all empty and ready to be put on shore. Here's the view from the fire pit, where you spend most of your time, and it is a nice view. See the lake, little islands out there, lots of nice rock everywhere. There's a breeze blowing in, and a nice flat tent site right over there. Wind through the pines, just what you dream of when you come out here. At least that's what I dream about. I don't know if you can see him very well, but what I'm trying to show you is the cloud of black flies that swarm. Didn't really expect the black flies so much as ticks, and I got my clothing all covered with permethrin, and it actually works with ticks too. They don't like it. They don't like my hat, which is great. But they do get where they want to go. But there isn't anything to stop that. They're not as bad as mosquitoes, but they're here. You just kind of go with it. This is my green bucket, and I've been using this thing for over 25 years. I got it at a McDonald's, I think. It's an old pickle bucket, that's why it's green. Still works. Handle's a little weird, but it still works, and I use it for all different kinds of things, and I get the weirdest looks when I'm carrying this thing on portages from people like, why are you bringing a bucket out here? And I'll show you why. Well, you can use it as a chair or a table and a ladder. One of the obvious ways I use this is to portage stuff. Of course, the best thing to use it for is to get water. And in camp, it's great for getting things like your drinking water. Here I'm filtering it through my Nalgene before I purify it. And you can get your cooking water through here. Of course, this is perfect for washing up. Just make sure if you're using soap to do it at least 200 feet away from the lake. And you can shower with it, but this water is really cold, so I'd warm it up somehow if I were you. Well, that's the tail of the green bucket. And it's kind of funny, I came into the park, the rangers were handing out free collapsible buckets. They were lightweight, put them in your pack, no problem. For fire suppression, for bailing and stuff like that, and I already have one of these. And I've tried those, and because you can't really get water out of a lake with them, I didn't like it. Plus all the other things you saw what I did. But it's kind of funny the rangers were handing them out. But I'm going to go find some other use for this thing. Rainy day on Cone Lake. I don't know if you can hear it. That is the stream, the outlet stream. And there's the landing, a big old rock. And there's a flat spot right over there. Let's see if I can get this in here. I don't know. Oh, took some chunks out of the canoe on that one. Anyway, here we are at the Cone Lake landing, getting ready to portage across. Oh, what fun. Well, here's the portage. Taking my portage pack right now. Then I'll come back and get the canoe, which ought to be really interesting. You can see the trail. Really nice. And here's the steep part. Steep and rocky. And there's people.
Sorry, you're going to be in my movie. Yeah. Do I need to get a disclaimer? Plenty of room up there for you guys. Yeah, I had the same problem. Really, it was hard to find.
Canoeing in the wilderness. The other guys took the wrong way. But that is the landing. What fun. Walking back. You can see how awful this thing is. It's not very long, but it's got big rocks. Slick rocks. And here we are at the landing. My canoe. That'll be next. Here we go, canoe cam. Here's how you portage with the canoe. Portage is funnel people. They're highways. They're like meeting points for people and sometimes congestion. Oh, here comes the steep part. Let you go first. It's hard. It's hard, but this is, well, you got one more portage, right? Yeah. It's a little longer, but it's not as tough. All right, here we go. Start again. This is the steep and rocky part. Oh my God. Tell me why we're doing this again. Okay, let's go for it. What an adventure. Here we go. That was a portage. I don't believe it, but I was able to load this thing in from this landing, which really sucks. Well, here's the outlet for Conch Lake. It's really pretty cool. I'm going to hit the current here. Woo! All right, Conch Lake outlet. Onward. Well, we're coming up on the outlet from Quetico Lake to Beaverhouse Lake. And as you can see, it's pretty impressive. There's a steel girder sitting right there. This used to be a lot of logging and timber going on up here. That was probably from that activity. But you can see it's quite a spill. I guess if I was into whitewater, you may want to try to run it, but a full loaded canoe, I don't think so. Portage landing into Beaverhouse, my last lake. Nice pool, the outlet, and look, a motorboat. Must be for the First Nations people. They have the right to fish any way they want on this property, so that's cool. Here's the outlet, and it's quite a torrent. And I'm not going to get any closer. This is cool. This is the outlet current into Beaverhouse. I'm just cruising here. Whoa, there's some rocks, of course. Yeah. And up ahead is Beaverhouse Lake. My last lake. The last day, after 15 days, I'm on my way out to Beaverhouse landing. I've got about an hour of paddling left. And overall, it's been a great trip. Everything I expected and more. Such a beautiful place. I haven't been here for years, and it's hasn't changed a bit, as far as I'm concerned. Good weather, bad weather, expected. Got some great footage. Hope to have some videos coming out soon. And also, good trip to have. Hope to come back. After 15 years, I better make it soon. It was kind of a tough trip.
So far, looks like I made it.